On the night of November 14th, 1995, at midnight, 375 bus line slowly left the depot at Yuanmingyuan. Frayed banners, dim headlights barely lighting the way. The driver, old Zhou, was 52 and had been on this route for 29 years. The conductor, Xiao Zhang, was 23 and always turns up her collar against the winter chill. At the first stop, 4 people boarded, a young couple, with the husband holding a hot water bottle to warm his pregnant wife's hands. A young man in a green coat, heading back to his home at the foot of Xiangshan. An elderly lady with silver hair, carrying a black bag with a yellow paper talisman peeking out. As the bus passed by Gongmen, the wind cut like a knife's edge. Old Zhou muttered, "Who's taking a bus at this hour?" About 100 meters ahead, 3 people stood under the stoplight. 2 men in long robes, pale as paper, and someone in the middle with hair down to their waist, their feet hidden. The bus door creaked open, letting in the cold air. Xiao Jiang forced a smile and said, "Probably actors from a Qing dynasty drama who got drunk. But even old costumes shouldn't be soaking wet, and no matter how long that person's hair was, it shouldn't block their shadow because they had none." The only sound in the carriage was the rumble of the engine. In the first row sat a young couple. When the wife suddenly felt a sharp pain in her belly, like something was kicking from the inside. A man in a coat pulled his hat low and pretended to sleep. But out of the corner of his eye, he saw the 2 people in ancient clothing floating 3 inches above the floor. The elderly woman kept her eyes shut, lips moving in a silent chant. When the wind blew, their robes lifted, revealing nothing but 2 blackened skeletons. The young couple got off first. Before the door closed, the husband glanced back. There were 5 figures in the carriage, but 6 legs. He shivered and was pulled away by his wife. Suddenly, the elderly woman stood up and grabbed the man in the coat. "Thief, you stole my wallet." The young man panicked. "Ma'am, don't say that." The old lady held onto his coat. "Stop talking. The police station is just ahead." The driver, old Zhou, hit the brakes and opened the door. The elderly woman almost pushed the young man off the bus. The door slammed shut, and the bus continued on. There was no police station ahead, only a shabby bus stop sign. The elderly woman whispered, "Look back, kid." The young man turned around. The tail lights of the last bus vanished into the night, then suddenly went out. The entire street was left with only the sound of the wind. The old woman trembled as she spoke. "Those 3 people, ... They had no feet, ... I saw it. Under their clothes, it was empty." The young man's knees buckled, and he fell into the snow. At 3:40 a.m., the police got a call. The GPS showed that bus 375 lost signal after passing Xiangquan roundabout at 1:28 a.m. The police checked the traffic cameras. The bus was never caught on camera again. The next day, an oily patch appeared on the frozen surface of Miyun Reservoir. Divers went down and found the bus standing upright, buried in 17 meters of mud, like a corpse, planted headfirst. All the windows were locked from the inside. Inside were 3 bodies. The driver, old Zhou, still gripping the steering wheel, his eye sockets hollowed out by fish. The conductor, Xiao Zhang, with blood at the corner of her mouth. And the third, the long-haired passenger, was nothing but a soaked Qing Dynasty official's robe, wrapped around a bundle of black hair. The coroner's report, time of death, more than 48 hours earlier. State of decay like 10 days in midsummer. What came out of the fuel tank wasn't gasoline, but 120 liters of liquid human blood. None of it matching the blood type of the 3 bodies. The police sealed the case under the label 375-1114. The young man in the green coat, released less than a month earlier, lost his mind. Even in summer, he never took off that coat, telling everyone, Bus 375 still runs, just not with living passengers. The elderly woman never rode a bus again. She stuck a yellow talisman to her door, and the wind would sometimes lift its corners. Do you believe in it? Every midnight, 375 bus line leaves from the south gate of the old summer palace, heading towards Xiangshan. But somehow the steering wheel seems to find its own path.